Breaking the habit of switching between languages. Think in English like a pro. Do you catch yourself switching back to your native language whenever you're thinking in English? It's a common habit that holds you back from fluency. But what if I told you that breaking this habit is easier than you think? In this video, I'll share practical strategies to stop switching between languages and start thinking in English confidently. Welcome to English Masters. I'm Pradeep, and today we're tackling a challenge many English learners face: how to stop switching between English and your native language. It's like your brain has a default setting, but don't worry, we'll reprogram it step by step so you can think, speak, and even dream in English. Why do we switch between languages? Switching between languages often happens because our brain looks for the path of least resistance. If you're more comfortable in your native language, your brain automatically relies on it when you're unsure about vocabulary or grammar. A recent article I found explains that this habit is rooted in your language dominance, meaning the stronger language always takes over unless you train your brain otherwise. Steps to break the habit of switching between languages. 1. Create an English-only environment. One of the most effective ways to train your brain is to immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Change your phone's language settings to English, watch English content, and surround yourself with English music and podcasts. This constant exposure keeps your brain in English mode throughout the day. Example. Let's say you're reading the news in the morning. Instead of reading it in your native language, switch to English news apps like BBC or CNN. Over time, your brain will get used to processing information in English first. 2. Use English for internal dialogue. Start narrating your thoughts in English. For example, if you're making a to-do list in your head, say it in English: I need to finish this project, call my friend, and cook dinner. This simple habit rewires your brain to think in English naturally. Pro tip. Question yourself in English. When you're confused or thinking something through, ask yourself questions in English. For instance, what should I eat for dinner, or how do I solve this problem? This reduces the urge to revert to your native language. 3. Practice single language zones. Dedicate certain times or places to only using English. For example, decide that during your morning commute or while cooking dinner, you'll only think, speak, or listen in English. This forces your brain to focus and resists switching languages. New technique. While researching, I found an interesting technique called language isolation. It involves isolating yourself from your native language for a set period, such as a weekend. During this time, you communicate, consume media, and even think only in English. It's like a language boot camp for your brain. 4. Build vocabulary for everyday scenarios. Often, we switch languages because we don't know the English words we need. Start by learning vocabulary and phrases for common situations, like shopping, cooking, or commuting. The more equipped you are, the less likely you'll feel the need to switch. Example. If you're cooking, learn words like chop, boil, and mix. Then, while cooking, describe each step to yourself in English: I am chopping the onions, boiling the water, and mixing the spices. It's like creating a mental English exercise. 5. Set realistic goals and reward yourself. Breaking this habit doesn't happen overnight. Start with small goals, like spending 15 minutes a day thinking only in English. Gradually increase the time as you get better. And don't forget to reward yourself when you reach milestones. It keeps you motivated. New strategy: habit tracker apps. Use habit tracker apps to monitor your progress. Apps like Habitica or Streaks can help you track your English-only moments and keep you accountable. This gamified approach makes the process more fun and engaging. 6. Challenge yourself with conversations. Join English speaking groups or communities where you're required to communicate only in English. Platforms like Meetup or language exchange apps like Tandem and HelloTalk are great for finding practice partners. The real-world pressure will help you break the habit of switching languages faster. Pro tip: record and reflect. Record your conversations and listen to them later. Analyze where you hesitated or switched languages, and focus on improving those areas. Conclusion: breaking the habit of switching between languages takes time and consistent effort, but it's absolutely achievable. By immersing yourself in English, practicing internal dialogue, and setting realistic goals, you'll train your brain to think in English naturally. Which of these tips will you start using today? Let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to take your English learning to the next level, don't forget to subscribe to English Masters for more practical and powerful strategies. Until next time, keep practicing and keep mastering your English.